Coming up on Network Africa, DR Congo's opposition leader Etienne Tshisekedi dies at the age of 84. UN Chief Antonio Guterres says President Donald Trump's travel ban should be removed sooner rather than later. And a Human Rights Watch report says widows in Zimbabwe are left destitute after being disinherited and robbed of their property. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Temitope Fagbemi. Supporters of Etienne Tshisekedi, the Democratic Republic of Congo's opposition leader, have gathered in the capital Kinshasa to express their shock at his death. A prominent opponent of successive leaders, he was due to head a transitional council under a deal for President Joseph Kabila to step down. The 84-year-old died in Belgium, where he went last week for medical checks. The information minister says he will be given a state burial. Let's get more on this story from the VOA's William Chloe, who joins us live from the DRC's capital, Kinshasa. You're welcome to the program, William.
Hello.
William, what has reaction been like to the death of Etienne Tshisekedi?
Well, many Congolese today are feeling bereaved. There's a palpable sorrow and shock in the city. Indeed, last night, as news of his death in hospital in Belgium filtered back to Kinshasa, his supporters tried to gather before his home and were dispersed by police firing tear gas. And this has continued into today as more people have tried to gather near Etienne Tshisekedi's home. So we have the population in general and the Congolese opposition movement realizes that it's been deprived of its anchor. He has been at the forefront of anti-government activity for over 30 years and has always retained an unmatched capacity to mobilize and infuse the Congolese people.
What about the government, William? Has the government given any official reaction to his death?
The government has expressed its sorrow. The government, senior government members have declared their respect for Etienne Tshisekedi and offered their condolences to the family and the party he heads. At the moment, they are waiting for the party and the Tshisekedi family to make clear their funeral plans and their plans to bring the body back to the country before they make an official statement on what should happen next.
Now, we know he died in Belgium, but what more can you tell us about his death?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I said we know that he died in Belgium, but what more can you tell us about his death?
Right. Yes. He's 84. He has a history of poor health in recent years, so it isn't a complete surprise. He has had extended absences from the Congo in Brussels before for undisclosed health reasons. And in fact, he only came back to the country last July after almost 2 years away. However, when he left last week, suddenly that was a clue that all was not well, because there are high-level political negotiations going on at the moment between his platform, the Rassemblement, and the government of President Joseph Kabila, and they haven't been concluded yet. So when he left all of a sudden last week, rumors began to circulate that he must be very unwell, and they turned out to be true.
Now, Mr. Tshisekedi was due to head a transitional council under a deal for President Joseph Kabila to step down this year. So what happens next? Is the deal now in jeopardy?
It's very unclear. What is clear what we can be more certain about is that this is a big blow for the people who want to see the deal succeed and who are trying currently to ensure the departure of Joseph Kabila. The council, you say that you mentioned he's going to head, the one tasked with implementing the accord, hasn't been put in place yet and can't be put in place until the two sides sort out several outstanding disagreements. But now, added to that, they have to decide who is going to replace Etienne Tshisekedi as the council's president. I think Tshisekedi's platform, the Rassemblement, will want to replace him as quickly as possible to get the agreement back on track. But unfortunately, there is no obvious successor, and we could see a battle of egos come to the surface.
Well, finally, William, what do you think DR Congo will miss the most about him?
Well, the death of Etienne Tshisekedi is the departure from the scene of the man who has been the preeminent figure in the Congolese opposition since 1980. He commands a personal loyalty and possessed a capacity to mobilize supporters that no one else really has. So I think the results of his death will be threefold. On the one hand, the opposition will not be able to put the same pressure on Joseph Kabila in terms of realizing this deal now that their emblem has gone. Secondly, without him, they are massively weakened in their capacity to mobilize the streets. And thirdly, they are left without a figurehead. So I think the Congolese people will miss the certainty and constancy that Etienne Tshisekedi offered them. He offered them a credible rival to Joseph Kabila and the two presidents before him, and that constancy is now gone.
Well, the viewer is William Chloe. Thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa.